In progress.
Hello, dear colleagues. I'm very happy to see you here during this lesson. This is the most, in my opinion, hands-on experience for you. We will analyze an experienced teacher giving a grammar structure during the lesson. So we will look at part of the lesson. You see, yes, we will plan a grammar lesson segment. We will analyze the video. But before this, let's again refresh, yes, what we are going to have. The course format is the same. You should have to watch the video, um, read the assigned materials. Also for today's lesson, you will have a special assignment. You should be able to choose one topic. And we will look today at how teachers can integrate grammar into the lessons. We will analyze the stages of the lesson. So by the end of today's session, you will be able to identify teaching techniques in real classroom practice. We will also refresh them, of course. You will analyze interaction patterns. We will look at how a teacher gave instruction and how he or she checked the instructions. We will recognize eliciting techniques, concept checking, and instruction checking techniques. We will talk about error correction techniques, if they are, of course, during the lesson, and we will reflect on, because without the reflection, what happened didn't happen. So this is a very famous saying. So we are reflective teachers. So I hope that you are using this tool, and today we will try to incorporate it. So let's revise what we have learned during the course, during these 2 weeks. Yes, we so this is the context. Yes, I am showing you the picture and I'm trying to elicit ideas from you. So you see that we were talking about teacher talking time and student talking time. Of course, we are constantly discussing it, but special attention was paid during the day 3. We also looked at different interaction patterns, uh, pair work, group work, teacher and whole class interaction, and individual work. Yes. Also, what about this picture? What do you think it is? Yes, eliciting techniques. So she is showing the picture and trying to elicit the ideas. We talked in details about eliciting techniques and noticing techniques during the day 4 of your course. What about this? Yes, this is the error correction techniques. Remember, we talked about echo correction when teacher tries to support students. Yes, it's um, during the speaking tasks. Finger error correction, yes, when a teacher is using his finger to point at a missing word, a missing article, auxiliary verb, or maybe some extra words. Also, we talked about the correction code. You remember, yes? When students have a written work and you don't want to correct every mistake, you just highlight the sentence and put the abbreviation. For example, WO, it means word order, wrong word order. What about this? Instructions and ICQs. ICQs, instruction checking questions, how to give instructions. I hope you remember about REACH technique. Reorganize group, instruct students, check instruction, give handouts. Handouts are always at the end. Yes, it was day 4 and 5. And also a very interesting topic, also very practical skill for a teacher, useful technique. Timelines and concept checking questions. Yes, CCQs and timelines can be used for grammar structures only. It was covered during the day 5 and day 6. But of course, we talked about instructions, about error correction techniques, eliciting, noticing techniques during the whole course. So before watching a video, so I will show you the video, the fragment of a lesson, CELTA-based lesson. So please prepare a notebook or a copybook, so some paper that you have and a pen, because I will ask you to take notes. So I hope that we will have a noticing technique today. And before the lesson, think, please, what stage of the lesson do you expect to see? Is it the beginning of the lesson, maybe the ending, or the middle of the lesson? If I say that it will be a grammar structure incorporated into the lesson. And what do you think the aim might be? So thinking time. Yes, another technique for teachers to elicit the ideas from learners. Yes, I hope that you remember that grammar structure can be set, yes, during the context stage, so at the beginning, but then for input and controlled and free practice, students get more exposure to this grammar structure. And do you think the A might be? So is it only grammar, or is the aim connected maybe to other skills, writing, speaking, listening, reading? So bear this in mind. And during the video, I will pause. Of course, I will sometimes stop and ask you better questions. You remember, yes, Scrivener, I will ask better questions uh, give to get better results and to give you some thinking time to analyze the video. So what you can take? You can take some papers, maybe a notebook or a copybook, and write on the left focus areas. We have 5 interaction patterns, and on the right, you will write, for example, TS, teacher to student interaction, SS for pair work, SS to SS group work, or maybe just pair group work as you like. But remember, yes, that schematically you can use T and S for teacher and student relatively. What about teacher language? Teacher talking time, instructions, immediate or delayed feedback. What about student participation? At which stages students are engaged? Are they engaged or not? Are they actively or passively learning the language? Are they bored? Maybe correction type, so delayed, immediate error correction, written code error correction, or maybe finger echo error correction, self peer error correction, and clarity of instructions. So did the teacher check the instructions? Did she or he use the reach technique? At what moment did the teacher give handouts, instructions? Did he set or did she set the time of the activity? So I hope while I was speaking, while I was increasing my teacher talking time, so I hope that you have prepared your copybooks and you are ready to look at the video.
Look at my friend John. Is he happy or sad? Sad. Why do you think he's sad? He's got no money. He's got no money. No, he's got no money. He's very sad. Poor John.
Mhm. What is the teacher doing here? Yes, she is using a hook. Yes, a picture. She is setting the context. So she is eliciting ideas that the person on the picture in the picture is said.
So he buys. Do you know what this is? Lottery ticket. Lottery ticket. Well done. Yeah, it's a lottery ticket. What happens if you win the lottery?
Eliciting techniques. Yes, eliciting techniques.
What are you? You're very rich. Rich. Now, John dreams of being rich. He dreams of being rich and all the wonderful things he can buy. Okay? In fact, this is one of them. Okay?
Mm-hmm. So during this time, the teacher was eliciting ideas. Yes, she was showing pictures without translation, you see, without giving the words rich, for example, said, yes, using some adjectives. So she was eliciting the words, and you see that students are engaged. Yes, here they are actively speaking.
If he was rich, he'd buy a car. If he was rich, he'd buy a car. If he was rich, he'd buy a car. Pretty good.
If he was rich, he'd buy a car.
If he was rich, he'd buy a car. Okay. He would, he'd buy a car. Okay. If he was rich, he'd buy a car.
If he was rich, he'd buy a car.
Excellent. Okay. And
Mm-hmm. So what is the teacher doing now? Yes, we call this technique as drilling technique. We didn't pay much attention to this because we didn't focus on pronunciation techniques. But you see that teacher asks, so which interaction pattern is here? Please keep in mind that this is teacher to student, yes, individual work or whole class, we can say.
and vote. Now the teacher uses other picture prompts and, as before, the students repeat the new sentence as a class and individually. This gives the students further practice of the structure. Is he going to be very rich? Is it likely? No. Is it unlikely?
Yes.
Is it real or unlikely or a dream? Okay.
Yes. Here you see
Now,
the teacher was asking very simple and short questions. Yes, is it likely? Is it unlikely? So you, I think, understood that the topic of the lesson, of the grammar lesson, is conditionals. Yes, if he were rich. Second conditional, if to be very accurate in saying conditional of unreal type. So the teacher is asking the probability, yes, is it likely or not? And student just answer yes, no questions. This is an example of concept checking questions.
can you ask me the question about what I'm
What would you do if you were rich?
Yeah, very good. Stay with buy because we're using buy, okay?
What would you buy if you were rich?
I'd buy a car, okay?
Mhm. So here you see the teacher asks to give an example from a learner. So the learner is asking the question and the teacher is answering.
Now, how many can you ask me? If you were rich, what would you buy?
Good, good, very good. Okay. What would you buy if you were rich?
So here you see handouts. Yes, when are they given? Pay attention. Were there any instructions or just simple sentences?
I'd buy a car.
Except I would.
I'd
I would.
buy a car.
Yes, you see here, it was a great example of finger error correction when she asked to to link the two words. I would buy a car, and she shows together. I'd buy a car. Let's watch again.
If you were rich.
I would buy a car.
Excellent. I would.
I would
I would.
buy a car.
Excellent.
If you were rich, what would you buy?
So no instructions. Yes, you see no instructions, just gestures. So ask, turn, and ask. Yes.
If you were rich, what would you buy?
This is John's girlfriend. She has different ideas about what she would do with the money.
Okay, the next stage. Yes, you see here again the context connected with the first picture. So students are engaged, they are listening. The relationships between people, boyfriend and girlfriend, are always an interesting topic.
The way. She doesn't want to keep the money. She'd give it away to charity, okay? It's giving it to charity, so would you buy a car? No. Let's have the negative all together.
If she was rich, she wouldn't buy a car.
Mhm. So now the teacher is practicing negative sentences. Yes, so she used another person. So she gives a very structured context. John is rich, and John is not rich. John wants to be rich. John wants to have money. John wants to have a car. And about his girlfriend, the teacher gives opposite information, is that she wouldn't buy a car. So she inductively, not explicitly, inductively gives another piece of information about negative sentences. So she is not writing the rules, she is not speaking the rules. Students are not reading the rules from the book. She is giving the information first. She is giving the context. Students are already speaking.
Good. And would you buy a parcel?
No.
Okay.
If she was rich, she wouldn't buy a car.
Very good. Okay, we're just going to write it on the board. Okay, so you have something to take away. Can you give me the positive sentence, the first one we had?
So now she's working at the board, yes, summarizing what students have learned. So she is moving from the meaning of grammar structure to the form. So the form must be on the board, but she is again eliciting. You see, so she is not using again her speaking, her teacher talking time. She is not writing herself. She is asking students, she is eliciting information from them, and then only she will depict this information.
Okay.
So you see
Structure
here,
with
she will,
controlled and free structure and ensure that express unreal or unlikely situations or dreams.
so you see here, the teacher gives a summary on the board. This is the form.
And we use it to express unreal or unlikely situations or dreams. We've concluded the presentation of the structure and ensured that students are comfortable with the form and meaning. Now we'll go on to practice the structure with controlled and free practice activities.
So I think you have heard what is the next stages are, but we also will closely look at it.
Here, I've got some mixed up sentences, okay? They're conditional sentences with a question and an answer, okay? What you have to...
So what is the first thing that you have noticed? Please write it if you notice. I give you thinking time. Yes, rearrange the furniture. You remember, yes, that she put the desks. So the students are face to face to each other. So she has people for pair work and also group work and an opportunity to quickly exchange the learners.
Do is put them in correct order. Okay, so this is yours.
That's one sentence. It's two sentences.
Examples of instructions. Yes. Teacher didn't check the instructions. She set the activity and she is giving out handouts.
Okay.
Two groups
So in
of
your
three.
groups, you can.
So students are doing.
Talk in your groups about what you would buy if.
So there was a controlled practice activity. Yes, students were not speaking too much. They were just doing matching activity and order activities. Yes, when you put sentences, when you put words or sentences in the correct order.
You were
So
rich,
now you
or
see
what
a
you
clear
wouldn't
practice.
buy. Okay, just compare. What would you do if you were rich? What would you buy? Okay, you just move to them.
Look at interaction patterns. Look at instructions that the teacher has given and what type of activity. So are students engaged now, or are they doing controlled practice activity, or is it more independent?
In our country, now it's about
Oh. Here we've got some interesting situations, okay, for you to discuss, okay, what you would do. For example, the first one is, what would you do if you saw your boyfriend or girlfriend's diary left open? Okay, so what would you do? Would you be honest and walk away? What would you do? Would you be would you read it?
Yes.
So definite.
Yes. Very curious.
Would you?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't read it? You wouldn't read it. What if you knew
Again,
that
the
they
free practice activity.
your answers? Okay.
So students are writing, yes, productive skills. What would you do if you found 100 pounds in the street? What would you do if you saw your boyfriend, girlfriend's diary left open? So here are several sentences.
Okay, if you finish, just talk together to compare your answers.
And she asks to compare the answers. So I think we can stop here. And let's analyze the lesson deeper in details. So what was the lesson aim? Of course, we paused. Yes, during the video we discussed, but now please let's have definite answers. So what was the lesson aim? I think. Was this aim achieved? Do you think? Where, at which stages was eliciting used? Was error correction delayed or immediate? Did you see any error correction techniques? Was the task controlled or practice or free practice? And what do you think about interaction patterns? So the lesson aim was about grammar structure, about second conditional. The aim was achieved because by the end of the lesson, learners were actively using the structure. Eliciting was used at the beginning of the stage and also during the form stage, yes, when she was explaining the meaning, form, and pronunciation. Was there any error correction techniques? Yes, there was error correction. Yes, finger error correction when she wanted to practice. It was immediate error correction because students were only at the beginning, yes, of the lesson, so they were just uh, practicing. They have just started. About the tasks. One controlled practice activity, yes, with small pieces of paper. Yes, and three free practice activity together in pairs, then in groups. And then she was asking individual students, yes, some questions. What about interaction patterns? Group work, yes, two groups of three, and also teacher to whole class interaction pattern. So please now also pause the video and think about one technique that you will definitely try in your next lesson. Is it maybe error correction technique? Is it eliciting? Maybe it's just meaning form stage. Maybe you will set the context using pictures or using a story about boyfriend and girlfriend. And also think about one thing that you would do differently from the teacher. Maybe you will use another error correction technique. Maybe you will use different interaction patterns. Maybe you will use paid work more. Think about this. I hope that this information will be useful for the next lesson. So let's revise what we have observed during this lesson, during this video, and also what I expect as a trainer from you during your lessons. So you must engage your learners first. How did this teacher do it with pictures, yes, and with a story about girlfriend and boyfriend? You should give the context. Again, pictures, again, stories. You can elicit ideas and concepts, like she was eliciting grammar, yes, I would buy. It was eliciting. Also, please give short and clear instructions. Ask simple and short questions where students can answer yes, no, past, present, future, something like this. Likely, not likely. Very short and simple answers. Check instructions. Only after checking instructions, give handouts. So just explain and then give. And please reflect on our own teaching because, as I have said, without reflection, what happened didn't happen. So when you analyze, when you reflect on your own teaching, you will have better results. So what to do next? So you see here three grammar structures: present perfect, past simple, two tenses, and also three modals together: must, can, and have to. So three topics: present perfect, must, can, have to together, and past simple. Choose one that is interesting for you, or on the contrary, maybe it's challenging and you would like to try new techniques. Make a lesson plan fragment, not the whole lesson plan, a lesson plan fragment with this chosen grammar. So, for example, you have chosen present perfect. Please use CCQs and timelines. You have must, can, have to use concept checking questions, use pictures, use examples, maybe famous people, sportsmen, and so on. I will give again the link to the Graham Workman's book with CCQs and timelines. You already can find useful timelines and concept checking questions. But of course, you can adapt the materials to your learners' needs. For example, if they are teenagers, use something or someone that is popular now and upload your task to the platform in your account. I hope that this lesson was also interesting for you, that you found it useful, that you found it engaging. Enjoy your teaching, please, и пусть все получится.